Today, we're diving into a really fascinating story. It's about how a massive clue, a hint about a company's entire future, might just be hiding in the one place nobody ever wants to look: a dry, boring legal document. We're talking about BitMine, ticker BMNR, and a potential master plan that could totally rewrite the playbook for its investors. And, it all kicks off with one almost unbelievable number. It all comes down to this: 50 billion. Just look at that number for a second. It's so huge, so astronomical that it just feels wrong, right? It looks like a mistake, like some intern just held down the zero key for too long. But what if it's not? And that's the big question, the mystery we're going to try and decode today. Is this some kind of epic screw-up that somehow got past all the lawyers and accountants? Or is it an intentional, carefully placed signal that lays out exactly what this company is planning to do next? Now, this isn't some rumor from a message board. This number comes directly from an official SEC filing. If you dig deep into BitMain's preliminary proxy statement, you'll find it. Proposal number 2. It's a request for shareholders to approve an amendment that would authorize this staggering number of new shares. I mean, just to put this into perspective, look at the sheer scale here. The company currently has around 400 million shares out there. What they're asking for is the power to issue over 100 times that amount. This is so far beyond normal corporate action, it's absolutely staggering. So, of course, the first reaction, your first reaction, my first reaction, is probably fear. The fear that they're about to fire up the printing presses, flood the market with new stock, and just dilute every single shareholder into oblivion, sending the price through the floor. It's a real concern for sure, but it might be missing the real story entirely. Because think about it for a second. That cynical view just doesn't square with one really important fact. The company's CEO is a billionaire who owns a huge chunk of shares himself. Why on earth would he back a plan that just obliterates his own personal fortune? It really doesn't add up. There's got to be another reason, something more strategic going on. And that reason, according to the source material we're looking at, is almost certainly a stock split. See, the idea is this. It's not about diluting value at all. It's about repackaging it to tap into some powerful market psychology and bring in a whole new wave of investors. Now, for anyone who's not totally sure what a stock split is, don't worry, it's actually pretty simple. A company takes its existing shares and just divides them into more shares. So let's say you owned 1 share. After a 10-for-1 split, boom, you'd own 10. But, and this is the critical part, the total value of your investment stays exactly the same. The best analogy is a slice of pizza. Think of your ownership in the company as one big slice. A stock split doesn't give you more pizza. It just cuts your one big slice into 10 smaller, bite-sized slices. It's the exact same amount of pizza, but as we're about to see, how it looks can make all the difference in the world. So if the value doesn't change, why even do it? Well, it's all about weaponizing this little psychological quirk we all have called unit bias. It's this weird thing in our brains where we just naturally prefer having more units of something, even if the total value is identical. You might feel richer with 10 $1 bills in your hand than one $10 bill. It just feels like more. And this is where it gets really powerful in the stock market. Let's say you have $100 to invest. You could buy 3 shares of a stock priced at $30. It feels kind of small, right? But if that same stock splits and is now trading at $3, suddenly your $100 gets you 33 shares. All of a sudden, you feel like you have a real meaningful stake in the company. Same investment, totally different feeling. A higher stock price can just feel exclusive. It's like there's this invisible velvet rope at a nightclub, keeping a lot of the smaller retail investors on the outside looking in. A stock split basically unhooks that rope and says, hey, everyone's invited to the party. And that can unleash a massive wave of new buying. And look, this isn't just some wild theory. This is the exact playbook that guys like Elon Musk have used at Tesla, time and time again. Every time the stock price got a little too high, he'd split it to keep it accessible for everyday people. A lower price acts as a catalyst. It gets the stock showing up on all those under $5 screeners, and it awakens that sleeping giant of retail investors. It can create a viral buying swarm. Okay, so this whole strategy isn't just about attracting new buyers. It also has a huge, huge impact on the other side of the trade, the short sellers. For anyone betting against the company, a stock split can be a complete tactical nightmare, and it's designed to create absolute chaos for them.
And here's why. First off, their administrative fees can actually go up because now they're shorting 10 times the number of shares. Second, lower price stocks are way more volatile, which raises the risk of a sudden price spike that could just wipe them out. And crucially, that unpredictable swarm of retail buyers, it completely breaks all their fancy mathematical models. The risk can get so high that they're forced to buy back their shares, which only adds more fuel to the fire.
So you see, this isn't just some administrative move. Authorizing 50 billion shares is a massive statement of intent. It's like a warning shot across the bow, signaling to any short sellers out there that the company has the ammo, and it is more than willing to make their lives incredibly difficult. Okay, so let's zoom out a bit. A stock split is the most obvious reason for this move, but it's probably just the first move in a much bigger plan. I mean, the sheer size of that 50 billion share request hints at a much, much grander ambition. Just think about the numbers. A 10-for-1 split would use up what, about 4 billion of those new shares? But that still leaves a massive war chest of 46 billion shares just sitting there, ready to be deployed. So the real question is, why do they need so much extra firepower? Well, these shares act like currency. With 46 billion shares on hand, management has incredible speed and flexibility. They can go out and acquire competitors to consolidate their industry, and they don't have to ask for shareholder approval every single time. It also makes options contracts way cheaper, which opens the door for a whole new wave of traders. And that can create this insane feedback loop called a gamma squeeze, where rapid buying of options forces even more buying of the stock itself, sending the price vertical. So how does the source material suggest an investor might think about all this? Well, it lays out a potential three-step process. First, an investor might consider voting for Proposal 2 to help make this whole strategy possible. Second, they might think about adjusting their position to a round lot, like 100 or 1,000 shares, just to make the math super clean after a split. And third, they would need to be ready for a press release, because the market could react to any official news instantly. You know, the key takeaway from all this is actually pretty simple. The signal has already been sent. This isn't some deep, dark corporate secret. It's right there in a public filing for anyone who's willing to read between the lines. The company is basically broadcasting its intentions to the world. The only question now is whether the market is listening. At the end of the day, a request for 50 billion shares is way more than just the setup for a stock split. It's a statement of raw ambition. It signals that management is thinking really, really big, and they might be building a strategy for total market dominance for years to come. It's a fascinating case of a master plan hidden in plain sight.